Namaste, all of you. When I refer the various commentaries on Yoga Sutra, different teachers, different masters approached various ways. If you recall, I hope you remember, Yoga Sutra, these statements, these aphorisms, 196 whole sutra, all the 4 chapters, mini statements to make you to understand easily. Unless you achieved the destination, the end destination, if you read Yoga Sutra directly, it will be difficult. No, that's an understatement. It's impossible to grasp, to understand. That's where Vyasa Maharishi came, right? So we saw that story. So for Yoga Sutra, he has given one commentary. And for his commentary, along with Yoga Sutra and Vyasa commentary, there is further commentary. Tika, it's called Tika. Then it comes for that furthermore, Upatika, sub-commentary, we put it this way. Now if you see modern commentaries, explanations given by various scholars or teachers, generally it's all based on these commentaries. And there are plenty of explanations are given. Every yoga school, masters, they have come up with their explanations on that. So if we go and read of all these various explanations, however strong the hair is thick on the head, everything will fly away. There are commentaries, they take one word and it goes pages after pages after pages after pages. Go to the root of that particular word, and from there are many meanings for that. Then they come up with their interpretation. Even the first Yoga Sutra, Atha Yoga Anusasana. The word Atha, many meanings. So, when we are studying, when we are trying to understand, it's very much important what I want to get from this. We have to have that clarity. If our focus is simply what Patanjali says or what Vyasa Maharishi says or what the other commentator says, then it will become one more academic subject. We will quote what Patanjali says. We will stay far away from our experience. Like this, we have studied many subjects in our school time. We don't connect that with our daily life. We don't relate with our experience. We can't do the same thing for yoga practice. It's not only philosophy, anything we study, asana, pranayama, anything we study. Can you recall the formulas you studied max during school days? Unless if you are a max teacher now. Unless something you are relatedly you are doing, then you may be able to connect. I don't know you studied or not. Many years we studied this formula. What is A plus B whole square? A plus B whole square, A square plus B square plus 2AB. A formula. Mathematics. Studied in school, used in number of times. Probably there is a strong connection of this formula in our daily life, in our daily experience. But we don't know. I don't know. So don't approach Yoga Sutra in the same way. Okay, what is the first sutra? What is the second sutra? What is the third sutra? We by heart remember that. Remember the commentaries. But we miss the main thing, application. Because understanding some way or other you will come to some point. The main challenge is bringing that into our experience. Why? The very definition, what is yoga? Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Cessation of these modifications in the mind field. Stillness of this whole thought process. But what is our experience? Constantly thought process is going on. Constantly we are chatting with ourselves. But what is requesting here? What it is saying? Yoga Sutra says the whole yoga process is to bring stillness. Stop these modifications in the mind field. If you are not clear, the first question you have to ask, what nonsense this is? Why I have to stop my thought process? This is crazy. If I stop my thought process, I can't do anything. I can't make plan for things I have to do. I can't deal with many things, many challenges of daily life. Can't do much things on home, can't do much things at workplace. We have to ask these kind of questions. So even though very well we know that we need to use this thought process, we need to really carry on the mind in this way to deal with everything in our daily life. But straight away when we see this statement, we need to naturally have this curiosity. Because it's totally opposite of our experience. Not only that, it goes further. If the thought process need to be stopped, if the stillness need to be there, how Patanjali wrote this Yoga Sutra? Definitely he has thought process. He ordered in a certain, he arranged the order in a certain way. He's giving the definition. He's asking questions. He's giving techniques and also other commentators. So naturally there is a contradiction. So then how it works? Then when we are studying the following sutras, our curiosity level, our interest has to be really on top. Like you are watching a thriller movie, edge of the seat, you don't know what's going to happen next. Your whole attention is there fully. Otherwise it will be boring. You just say, okay, Patanjali says, commentator says, this way and that way. Last session we saw this sutra, right? Let's start yoga, Hatha Yoga Anushasanam. Yoga hai Chitta Vritti Nirodha, cessation of this thought process in the mind field. Tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. He saw that, that's the time. When it is happened, the seer in his own state. Vrittis arupyam idaratra. Otherwise, the whole association is along with this vritti, thought process. You can see there is certain order. Let's start yoga. What is yoga? What happens when you get that yoga state? Otherwise, what happens? Then when next sutra, which we saw, vrittayah panchatayah, Klishta, Aklishtaha. Fivefold, 5 categories of these modifications, thought process, vrittis. Klishta, Aklishta. Painful, not painful. Harmful, not harmful. This thought process will create issues, damages. Other thought process which will not. So naturally, what is the question we have to ask is, only these 2 categories, every thought will come, every modifications happening in the mind will fall within these 2 categories. Generally we used to hear in this anything when it comes. Opposites, right? Pain, pleasure, unpleasant, pleasant, wrong ones, right ones, night, day. So normally we see that opposites of that. But here, when he says Klishta, Aklishta, harmful, not harmful. Is it just the opposite? Then, shall we understand? Okay, painful. This not painful means the pleasant ones, the one which is bringing pleasures, that is bringing happiness, that is bringing pleasant experience. Shall we think of this opposite? Okay, if that is the case, shall we understand? If we understand this way, harmful, not harmful. Just for understanding purpose or argument's sake, this is not harmful if we understand as a pleasant thing or pleasurable things. We have to go back to the second sutra. What is that? Chitta Vritti Nirodha. It's not said Aklishta Vritti okay, only Klishta Vritti need to let go. Look carefully. Modifications, all the modifications in the mind step, it has to be stopped. No modifications, no changes, no thought process, stillness. But here, it's only two types, harmful thoughts, non-harmful. The thought process which is bringing pain, the thought process which is not bringing pain. But what is yoga? All need to go. That's where you need to think how it is possible. What we have been taught, whatever the religion you follow, whatever the tradition you follow, whatever the country you are living in, you have to be a good person. You should not harm others. Now, all these ethical way of living, value-based way of living. Now here, yoga says all kind of this thought process need to let go. It's not only which is bringing pain, also which is not harmful, which is not bringing pain, that also need to let go. If we don't give this attention, give this focus in detail, then we don't really go further about it. Then what now I'm doing yoga, I'm doing meditation, I'm doing pranayama, I'm studying this philosophy, I'm trying to understand this. Now, these activities, these thought process, Klishta or Aklishta, painful or not painful? You are saying listening to you is painful? Probably. Practicing asana painful, especially Iyengar yoga? Probably. Whatever it may be. Generally it is thought practicing yoga is a good thing, physically, mentally, right? So I am looking into how my body works. Based on that, I am practicing. I am trying to understand how my breath works. Based on that, I am practicing. I am looking into my lifestyle, what I am eating, when I am eating, looking into my sleeping pattern, my thought process. It's all coming in this yoga practice. So because of that, my mind is active, right? And thinking about it, looking into that, listening it, understanding, practicing, not harmful, right? Not painful, Aklishta. Now, this also needs to stop, needs to disappear. How come? Then what else I do in this life? I should do the good thing, best thing, right? Then we need to really look back of these three gunas, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Though generally all these three things are in an imbalanced state, and we are striving to be in sattvic state. We are working to stay in that state more. Now, where is the connection of these three different states with this thought process, this Klishta and Aklishta? Anything we think, anything we do, anything is there in this universe. Not only human beings, everything. We can bring that under these three categories, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. So when other commentators pointing out, just for our understanding purpose, also to bring that into practice, explore, Klishta, the painful, the one which is harming the thought process, we can bring that into the categories of tamasic and rajasic. And the Aklishta can fall under the category of sattvic. See, you have to understand the meaning of these Sanskrit words so that whenever we use that, you can link. Overall, it's easier to connect with the subject. So, if it works that way, Klishta, tamasic, rajasic, Aklishta, sattvic. Painful thought process definitely need to go. Nobody needs to tell, right? I'm enjoying this food. I want to eat this again and again. Overindulgence, eating, right? It is bringing pain physically, mentally, in all the ways. So you don't need Patanjali for that. Your body will tell, you see yourself, right? So anything this kind of rajasic, tamasic activities, bringing the pain. So naturally we want to have that pleasant experience. Naturally we will work for it. But the Aklishta, sattvic one, I want to be a good person. I want to be good to others also, to myself as well as to others. And I am living my daily life, taking care of my responsibilities, my duties, doing my roles more effectively as a wife, as a partner, as a friend, as a mother, as a daughter, as a son, whatever the roles, different roles. And my energy, my activities are focused on that to do that more effectively as per the requirement. Sattvic, bringing the mind into that peaceful state, passive state, sending that positive energy, positive vibration. Sattvic state, practicing yoga, sharing yoga to others. Whoever harming you, showing the smiling face. Whoever's creating trouble, still thinking good to them, following non-violence, etc., etc. Sattvic state. But Patanjali says, Chitta Vritti Nirodha. It's all go, everything as a package. It's not only your rajasic, tamasic mindset need to disappear. Sattvic mind also need to disappear. That means what? Every day practicing yoga, sitting for meditation, doing pranayama, reading, helping others, teaching, all these things. But you can see that when your thought process completely related with that, even you are in maximum in that sattvic state, also need to disappear. So naturally we need to have this doubt, this thought process, this inquiry. Why? Why it is said like that? What really happens if I maintain this sattvic state again, maximum, out of 24 hours, maximum. Everything is directed towards that. No jealousy, no anger, no greedy, no attachment, no accumulation. Very simple life, happy life, and doing good, serving good. Maximum on that sattvic state. Now if Patanjali says, wait, you are in sattvic state, fine, but yoga is not just Klishta Vrittis, Aklishta Vrittis also. Non-harming thought process also, not painful thought process also need to let go, need to disappear. Then only the seer will be in his state. Tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. So then what really happens? Why this non-harmful thought process also need to let go? Why? That's where one other important aspect of this whole yoga practice, Sankhya philosophy, is brought in here. It's called samskara. I use this Sanskrit word because you will hear that again and again. Equivalent translation, samskara, imprints, impressions. Imprints from where? Receiving, whatever we are receiving through sense organs, which is bringing that trace. It's copying, storing what we see, what we taste, what we smell, what we hear. Storage is going on constantly. Right thing or wrong thing, good thing or bad thing, harmful thing or unharmful, non-harmful. It's like you are composing an email. When you compose an email, autosave. Whether you type wrongly or in the right way, you are scolding somebody or praising somebody, whatever happening, when that typing done, autosave. So whatever we are receiving through the senses, impressions store within yourself, autosave. At least when we compose the email, we can delete immediately. Then it will not be saved, even though the autosave function is there. But here, once you received means received, autosave. Maybe you can understand this better easily. What is samskara? Autosave. Whatever you hear, whatever you see, whatever smell, whatever you experience, autosave. Imprints, impressions. That's why these gossips of yoga, this session, this pranayama, meditation, whether you understand or you don't understand, you are able to follow or not able to follow, and every time you have the interest or no interest, just be there. This samskara will help over a period of time. Autosave. You may not understand now everything, but it will be there over a period of time, slowly when we are unfolding one by one. Then it will strike. You will see that. Klishta samskaras. That means rajasic, tamasic thought process and activities. Creating that samskara. Aklishta. Not painful. It's not harmful. Sattvic. Good thing, wonderful thing, nice thing, beautiful thing. Also creating samskaras. It's also autosave. That impressions, whatever that related with that, also that sattvic related things, like rajasic, tamasic, it's all autosave. So now, what happens? Okay, everything's saved. Since when it is saved? At the age of 1, at the age of 2, at the age of 3? Can we really relate that experience from that age? if you believe in reincarnation, the life and birth cycle, it says many, many lives, the samskara continues. Because the auto-saving option is there all the time. From the time you are able to recognize the experience in the mind field. If you believe only one life, both are belief only. At least for now, okay? Unless you are able to have your own experience. We can come with a certain conclusion through certain logic. We will see that some other time. But for now, even if you believe only this life, this experience, when you start to recognize that it is started from that time. Samskara. Imprints. No, that's why when we do things right, time pass. Entertainment. Right? Watching some YouTube videos, just randomly. Hearing some music, random. Reading something, just without any direction. Hearing the gossip of your friend. You know what happened to that person? You know what she said? You know what she said about her? All these things, when it is connected with that, is going inside, imprints. We are going to study further. So here what they say, yes, Klishta, the painful thought process, which is Rajasic, Tamasic in nature, we need to overwrite by using this sattvic thought process. This painful, the thought process, the mind stuff. That's why we will use the sattvic one, non-painful. Using that thought process to take care of this. Still we will study in detail. I'm just giving some idea. Because the next sutra, everything put within that 5 categories, right? Pramana, Viparyaya, Vikalpa, Nidra, Smritaya. Pramana. We will study right knowledge. Simply understand right knowledge. Viparyaya. Errors, wrong knowledge. Vikalpa, imagination. Fancy stuff. Nidra, sleep. Smriti, memory. Memory also in this category is 5-fold. Klishta, Aklishta. We are going to study everything in detail. The sutra after sutra, it's all going again and again to the vritti. What is the vritti? What is the nature of the vritti? What it is doing? How it is connecting with each other. Based on that, how we are thinking, what is going on in our mind. And from there, how we are getting into actions. So when you are getting any desire, any interest to do anything, you need to think along this way. What category it is falling. Anything you want to do, anything you are thinking. Is it in Rajasic, Sattvic, Tamasic? If it is falling in Rajasic and tamasic, can I find some sattvic thing to replace that, to overcome that, to overpower that? Suppose you are sleeping, oversleeping. You want to get up at 5 o'clock. Then you had a good sleep, but still want to sleep 10 minutes more. Want to sleep 30 minutes more. Tamasic, right? Went to bed right time, had a good sleep, but still the tamasic thought overpowers. Even though other thought says, let's get up. Now, you have to find a way how I can use the sattvic thought process to overpower this. You have to maybe tell to your mind, see, anyway you are going to continue the sleep, only one difference, you are going to sit and sleep. So why you want to miss this? It's a different experience. It's a kind of trick. Tamasic mind want to sleep. And this sattvic mind says, okay, let's do same thing, sleep, but sit and sleep. So same way, every time when we are going through various thought process, look into that in what category it is, Klishta, Aklishta. This is a general category. Now we are going to go further when we are going into Pramana, Viparyaya, Vikalpa, Nidra, Smriti. Then we divide that further. All these thought processes within these 5 categories. First, overall you can look into this way. Is it painful or not painful? In that case, is it Rajasic, Tamasic? Or is it Sattvic? If your mind says, I can't think the whole day like that, I don't have patience. Rajasic mindset. When you thought comes this way, that is the effect of that Rajasic mindset. So what to do? You need to replace with Sattvic. How you can replace? Not just by thought. It has to be by action also. So to bring that patience, get into asana. Okay. Which asana? Don't go to restorative poses. Don't go to shavasana. Don't go to relaxation poses. And you have to go to standing poses, sun salutation, inversion. But you may see that, right? It is active work. But indirectly, slowly it will cultivate the patience. When we look various activities at home, at office, wherever you are doing, when you are relating with others, either at home or at workplace, they are not understanding, they are irritating, they are doing things in a wrong way, doing things without any responsibility, committing, not committing, doing things selfishly, whatever your mind says. Based on that, then we relate, we react, and we only face the effect of that. Suppose you are asking your children or husband or mother, father, whoever it may be, to do some job, and they are not doing that. They are not listening to it. They are not giving attention to that. And you are getting angry. How many times I told, why you are not doing? Why you are not listening to me? When you will do your things, then you will be responsible. If you get angry, if you react in that way, Rajasic mind, right? Okay. In that thought process, in that action, what is the effect? Is it that your anger will change? If you are emotionally loaded that way, effect is to you only. The painful, the Klishta effect, the harmful effect to you only. So when we are giving that attention and look into this, all the various things we do in daily life, and we bring that into category, then naturally we look for solution, we look for answer, how it works. We transform into more attentive, focused person. Naturally you inquire about it. You become a contemplative person, thoughtful. Otherwise what happens? We are continuously living in a habitual way of doing things, like a machine. There is certain order, there is certain format, there is certain pattern created, every individual being, and we got trapped, and we continue that. That's why all the pain, miseries, and not clear, not able to understand, everything happened. So that's why I'm repeatedly reminding, again and again, I am pointing out, what you listen, you find a connection, you look for the connection of your daily activities, and from there you ask questions yourself, you search the answer and see that how it is all linked, where is the connection. Otherwise, you want to practice for a happy life, you entered into yoga life, and suddenly from here and there this thought came, want to become a yoga teacher, and it becomes a miserable life. And I have been seeing many miserable yogis, so-called yogis. I used to say this example, you want to find the treasure, golden treasure, diamond treasure, whatever you call it. Worked hard, reached the treasure, and just got one shining iron piece there, shining like a gold or shining like a diamond. Holding that iron piece and leaving the treasure. Don't know what to do with the treasure, or not really giving it. Like that, practicing yoga, that's the golden treasure, diamond treasure. But got carried away on something. Want to become a teacher, want to run a studio, want to achieve this asana, want to stay in that so many minutes, want to know this, want to know that. It's like holding that shining iron piece, leaving the treasure. So now let's see further, where is the connection of this? Praman, Viparya, Vikalpa, Nidra, Smriti. What is the right knowledge? Thought process. What is the wrong knowledge? Thought process. What is the Vikalpa, imagination, fancy stuff? Thought process. Nidra, also thought process. Why? How? Memory, thought process. So what is the definition of it? How it is categorized? So many things going on in our mind. How come everything coming within these 5 categories? Painful, not painful, within these 5 categories. Yoga Sutra started many years back, right? It's given centuries back. So many things developed in human history. Amazing things. Technologically highly developed. Now, even already we are going to Mars soon. Still, all these things fall within these 5 categories. That's what we are going to explore further. So if you see that whole thing, this Yoga Sutra, this whole yoga philosophy, this practice, It's very much connected to one's own every moment experience, body experience, mind experience. So it's not something away from the daily life. Wherever you are, whatever the religion, whatever the country, whatever the race, whatever the gender, it's about one's own experience. Let's continuously give more attention. Continue in the next session on that. Let me see one or two questions here. Immediate reaction to pain or pleasure must stop versus responding with wisdom. Is that the meaning for non-fluctuation of the mind? Taking a step backwards, reviewing with a discernment, and then responding without losing balance. Is this the meaning? We put it this way, that the question is this way, is it instead of reacting, is it just about responding? In other way, we don't carry forward the emotions. Or furthermore, is it about discernment of the reality, ultimate reality? We are able to discriminate with clarity. We understand not just academically, experientially. Now the question comes, when that clarity will happen? How I can be a responding person than reacting person? I want to get up early. The same I says sleep more. I don't want to eat this. The same I says only one day. Today is special, right? I want to practice this many hours. The same I says today is Sunday, holiday. You can see that we have that conflict, continuous conflict is going on. That's what this whole mind is all about now. So based on that, how we are reacting, how we are responding to that within ourselves before connecting with others. With others, mostly we react. If somebody says, your dress is not matching for you today, you don't look good in this dress today. And constantly the thought process keep going. Or somebody says, you are not a good person. I wish you are not here. Naturally, you immediately react. How come you can say that? I know about you. You are so bad person. Not only that, even for a good thing. And somebody says, you are beautiful. That changes the whole scenario there, right? That the mind said that you feel elated. You feel achieved. You have certain pride of that beauty. Reaction. Suppose the same person every time told you are beautiful, you are beautiful, you are beautiful. But on another front another front says that, that person told you that you don't know how to dress, you don't know how to speak, you don't know how to present yourself. That person told you in person you are beautiful, you are nice. Somebody else telling about this person opposite way. The mind goes only there, reaction. Because you don't want that, you don't want to hear that, unpleasant. Both ways. So when or how I can be a responding person to then reacting person? What is this whole process? What is this transformation? Patanjali says, when you know about your mind, when you know about all this thought process, when you know about this Klishta, Aklishta, when you are getting into that state where there is no Klishta, Aklishta, and Chitta Vritti Nirodha happens. So now this whole techniques, whole process, trying to understand his mind and everything. It's all towards the second sutra only. We can say every sutra has connection to the second sutra. Until then, yes, we can say that, but we don't know. In fact, a lot of the personality development program and positive thinking program, all these various modern kind of approaches to the mind. So they touch this point. You should do this way, that way and everything. But we can do that only when we know the complete picture. When we know the reality. When we know what is really the truth, ultimate truth. Until then, this process, this fight will continue. So it will be good if we can take one step back and we are able to review, understand. But actually that's what we are doing now. We are taking one step back and looking it again and again. To understand fully, then there is no more question. Samskara is actions that's in your memory, or can you also say as your karmas for many lives. Okay, karma I don't want to touch now. If you get into karma, then that's it. So right now, we understand this way, samskara imprints. Action comes afterward. Action is the result of samskaras. Say at your young age, you want to become a teacher. Any subject, you want to become a teacher. You wanted during the school days, studying time, you want to go to study further to become a teacher. But some reason or other, you end up working in a bank, or you ended up in IT field. You ended up in something agriculture activity. But that desire, that interest, very strong. It is already said there. It comes up suddenly. Either even wherever you are working, in a bank or IT field, you teach to your subordinates because the teaching impression is there stronger. Or suddenly you heard about some becoming a yoga teacher, that desire comes out. Oh, let me become a teacher. So samskara starts from there. Thought from that imprint, auto-saved. And it will come up. There are a lot of things. We are going to study about it again and again. We will see that in detail. But you see that the impressions, the experience which we register, it may be only in the thought process. You don't even actually got into certain action and doing it. It can be even just the thought process. That itself, within yourself, can create certain experience and it stays, auto-save. Of course, the connection is there to karma. Okay, we will see that how it works. But it's more detailed or more complex when you go to karma. For now, samskara is very straightforward. These experiences saved by action, by thought process, through the senses, sense experiences. Okay, but as far as I know, next question, in the concept in reincarnation, each human born condemned to forget. So relating to samskara, how can she remember? There are many concepts there on reincarnation. So we will look into that. Why that? What is happening with Hindu religion based, Buddhism? What is happening in Christianity? How it is seen also? How that concept, even in Islam, whatever we have to understand, in order to understand Yoga Sutra, we will try to explore how it is done, how they are seeing it. So at the end, you are going to see based on your experience. That's why what my request is, we are exploring, right? We are trying to understand. So whatever given, we don't need to just believe, we question it. Same way, when Patanjali says something, we don't need to believe, we question it. Okay. Probably we don't understand everything or we don't experience everything. So for some time we give the benefit of doubt. We go through it, we practice it and see that how far it can come in our experience. Can we get that experience immediately? We don't know. Okay, can we get that experience once we finish all the sutras? We don't know. Okay, can I get that experience before I die? We don't know. Why? Every individual person is unique. Every individual person's way of life is special. Every individual person need to know that, need to find out. So this whole exploration is just a general guidance. You need to see yourself and you need to explore and you need to experience. So we continue, we see that. Okay. Namaste.